Welcome back, everyone, to the Studiopolis Podcast Theater. And you know what? The colors do not feel so right today.
That is definitely true. Somebody went to the color generator and hit random, and we got something special, all right.
I'm your host, Wes, and with me is
RaijinVexis here again to grace you with more Sonic news.
Although we're really not covering Sonic news tonight, we're more so just covering what's going on in the world of Sonic since the last time we talked. Speaking of
a lot of colorful shit.
I'll say. So yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't already known, Sonic Colors Ultimate came out about a week or two ago. It did not go well, as you may have known.
Yeah, it was kind of a big mess. Not gonna lie, streamed the whole game for like 4 hours, and yeah, that's a big oof.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of sad that, you know, to the build-up of the game, a lot of people saw this coming.
Yeah, no, here's the thing though. I did not know that they outsourced that remaster to a different developer altogether until you told me, actually, Wesley. So thank you for actually telling me that.
I mean, if I didn't tell you, you would have figured it out when you booted up the game.
Exactly. And yeah, wow, they
But yeah, I mean,
not their best work.
It's kind of a shame that a lot of people saw this coming. Like, you know, everywhere you went online, you had people either criticizing the game from what it looks like. In fact, I remember this really long Twitter thread from about a month before the game came out, and he was talking about how the developers was going to be Blind Squirrel Games, and like, you know, like he gave out all these reasonings of how the port wasn't going to be satisfactory because of Sega's meddling and whatnot. And it's kind of a shame that all of that came true.
Yeah, but before we get into all that, we should probably state our feelings about the original game and what it means to us for the most part. Unless you want to go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. So yeah, the original Sonic Colors, I mean, it's a really good game. Like, don't get me wrong, it paved the way for what Sonic became for the next decade, but other than that, like, it was a pretty solid title in a quote unquote dark time for Sonic. Some people like to say that Sonic has had a rough transition to 3D, but this was the first game to, you know, feel good. Did you like my obligatory reference to the, you know, Sonic had a rough time since his transition to 3D?
Oh boy. Yep. News articles just don't know how to talk about that franchise without dipping on it. But regardless, I have more or less the same opinions on Colors. It's a very solid game, and if you've never played a Sonic game, I still recommend playing it. Not if you're playing it for the plot, I can't really tell you it's good. It's serviceable.
If you're playing a game for the plot, man, might I recommend Sonic Unleashed?
Yeah.
There we go.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You should play Unleashed because it's a really good Sonic game. Probably the best 3D Sonic game Sega's ever made. But don't tell your kids that.
And if you have the Xbox series of consoles, you can play it pretty easily.
Yeah, backwards compatibility.
But yeah, no, Sonic Colors, like, overall, it's like, it was a pretty solid game back in the day. And, you know, the levels, they were all, you know, inspiring. It's sad to say that was kind of like the last original game with level designs and whatnot. Or not level designs, but, like, level locations, you know, Sweet Mountain, Tropical Resort, you know, just original level concepts.
Yeah, no, like, that was pretty much it. After that, it was kind of like...
Do you like Green Hill?
Green Hill? I mean, granted, we're not counting Lost World, but that game has its own problem.
Well, that one's just fucking generic Mario levels. Like, Here's your grass world. Here's your beach world. Here's your fucking lava world. Here's your goddamn underground world. Yeah.
Yeah, there really wasn't any level design in Lost World that to go crazy over, but like Colors was like the last game to like utilize Sonic how we're used to with his like design pretty much. Second boost formula game, you know, the boost sections weren't like super in your face like Generations of Forces is, but I appreciate all the platforming that the game has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like,
on that front, it's a good game for that sole reason, in my opinion. But yeah,
yeah, it's a pretty solid game. And now that we must transition to it, Sonic Colors Ultimate came out, and I mean, you know, we'll talk about some of the changes, but in its core, it's still the same experience. Like, you know, you still have all the same level design. Sonic controls pretty much the same with a few minor tweaks and whatnot. Um, and you know, there are some improvements to make the game better. Um, Now, I know a big controversy with the game, the Ultimate release, was uh, just the change to the graphics overall.
yeah,
Uh,
no, a lot of bloom, a lot of shininess.
the
The colors
blur.
are a lot brighter, which isn't, which could be a bad or good, which is neither bad or good.
Yeah.
It's just it's to the eye of the beholder. There's
I
also a lot of areas that are a lot darker and a lot, paler than how they look in the original game.
mm, like I think it's a mixed bag. Like some levels like Sweet Mountain and Planet Wisp, they look absolutely gorgeous in the remake or well, remaster.
For sure,
Whereas
yeah.
levels like Asteroid Coaster and Tropical Resort, they could look better. Like they're not terrible by any means, but they could look a little better.
Yeah, for sure. It's my thing with the whole remaster is where they kind of like failed in that aspect is they never really tried to like make the textures pop out more.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it was a Wii game and they don't really have access to the original engine like that. But that's what I would have done first and foremost before tweaking with the color palette of the stuff in the game. I would have actually like made the textures pop out more and made it look like an actual HD upres game.
Mm-hmm. Well, they
So
do actually improve some textures, but I mean, yeah, and they do make effort. Like I've seen a video where they were talking about the polygon count on some things, like the Ferris wheel and Tropic Resort, and some of like the edgings and whatnot, and they do kind of like add more polys just to make it like seem smoother. Um, so like there is actual effort put in to like, you know, fixing up some of the environments and textures for the game. But
oh yeah, for sure.
I just think a lot of people gripe about how some of the things it looks. And like, you know, it's like looking at it in still images and whatnot, I do think uh it does make a difference. Like if you're looking at a still image of the gameplay, because it will look a little weird comparing it to the directly to the original. And that's where a lot of the problems is. It's like I'll be honest, if you compare it directly to the original, it's like yeah, there's some things that look a little worse, but it's like on its own, overall, it still looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm not harping on them for that. Like they at least try to.
Yeah,
But
like as you said, the bloom, it just fucking trash that. Just I mean, someone already is trashing that like with mods already.
oh yeah, for sure. I think the game did the Epic Game Store version come out already?
Yeah, the Epic Game Store came out and like they got access to the debug menu and shit. Um,
Nice.
Speaking of graphics, the cutscenes. Oh my god, the fucking cutscenes.
Yeah, why are they so
Now
compressed?
the CGI ones, they look all right. I think the CGI ones look fine. But the original ones, they use the Wii 480 or the 480p cutscenes and AI upscale them, so that's why they probably look so compressed.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm not sure exactly what they could have done to like
Well, I tell
make them look
you,
less
I'll
compressed.
tell you what they could have done.
By all means,
In the
go
in the
for it.
PC version, they fucking have the goddamn the all the shit for the cutscenes within the game. Like they have all the programs for like the animations and whatnot. Like all the game's animations and shit for the cutscenes are in the fucking PC's files. Like
Oh wow.
they have all that shit. People have been remaking the goddamn cutscenes. Like I think Nibrak Rock, I think his name is that the guy who does the Sonic renders on Twitter.
Hmm.
He remade the first cutscene, at least a portion of it, with his own models and whatnot, and like reused, the newer assets, and it looks 10 times better. It's like, okay, if you have access to this shit, why are you giving us AI upscaled cutscenes?
And to me, it just sounds like I wouldn't say it's a rush job, but it's a big oversight,
Yeah,
and that's would have been something I would have like gotten done right before releasing it.
and here's another rebuttal I want to say, because the cutscenes reuse the Wii assets, obviously, so you can tell that stuff is from the Wii and not this version.
Um,
It's like even if you didn't want to fucking use this version for the cutscenes, like at least like take all the original assets and just like I don't know what they would have had to do to like put it through and re-render it, but they should have done that at
oh yeah,
least
definitely.
at least to make it upscaled like properly and not look like crap.
But those are just the cutscenes. We're like just scratching the surface of everything that's a problem with the game. And to be honest, I'm not sure where to tackle or how to tackle this
All right,
whole like
I have an
thing.
idea.
But I guess we should go over the bugs.
Let's actually we'll be there for fucking ever. Let's talk about some of the positives of the game.
True, yeah.
So a feature I do like is the new homing attack function. I guess I don't know if it has a technical name, but I just call it the perfect homing attack or whatever, where you have to kind of time your homing attack. And if you get perfect timing on it, it does give you a little bit of boost energy, and that is definitely a game changer for colors, where boost is pretty limited to begin with.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually really enjoy that aspect. Just waiting for the target reticule to like, you know, be dead center and then you do the homing attack. I think that's how it works properly. I never bothered
Yeah,
testing it myself because I wasn't really paying that much attention to it.
yeah,
But it's a neat mechanic, and I like the incentive of giving extra boost to the player since it's already limited, like you said. Um, I do enjoy the added. What was it? I don't. There's some stuff I don't like about the new wisp that they added, the Jade wisp, but I can see its functionality and the levels.
yeah. Like the thing I like about it is like they added content to the game. Uh,
Yeah.
a new wisp. Now it does have an interesting power. It's kind of similar, I guess, if you want to compare it to hover, in a sense. It's kind of like hover, and I don't know. Um, but it's like it's good. They did change surprisingly some of the level layouts in the Red Rings for that new wisp.
Hmm.
My only complaint is some of those new level layouts has the problem with some of those bonus missions in Sonic Forces where they just fucking use blocks
Oh
to
yeah, for
build the
sure.
layout.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those because I did look up some of the red ring paths and not sure how I feel about those, honestly. Um, let's see here. Other than that, there's besides those two, they did add the Metal Sonic Arrival Rush mode to
Neat
the levels.
idea. It's kind of disappointing. There's only 6 of them, but
Yeah, they probably should did to the whole game.
yeah, honestly, they should have just I don't know why they couldn't have a time. Like, it's basically a time trial. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's basic time trials, but
They could have done that for like every level, honestly.
yeah. There is the menu or the settings menu that they added where you could like turn on the little costumes that you or not costumes but the accessories that you can equip to Sonic.
And that's another
Um,
good point. The customization that you can do. Personally, God, I do like how they added the Sonic movie aesthetic to the game, and I'll be
mhm.
honest, I rocked that for my first playthrough of the game.
So did I. Yeah, no, it looks super nice. It looks better than the normal boost
Yeah.
animation.
Um.
But what was I gonna say? The menu, I'm not, and this is just a personal thing for me. I'm not a big fan how they. I know the game's been out for like more than a decade at this point. I think when did Colors come out? 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out for more than a decade at this point. So most people know that Supersonic's in the game, but for the people who that don't know, that's never played Colors before, that would have been a neat surprise because it was a neat surprise to me when I first played Sonic
Oh,
Colors. Right?
absolutely. You know how fucking thrilled I was to find out Supersonic was playable in 3D?
Yeah, like I didn't know that the Red Rings, unlock the more of the Metal Sonic levels or the Metal Sonic World levels for multiplayer, and then you complete those, and then you unlock Supersonic. That's how it goes. You get to the main menu, and it's like they just tell you right there, and it's like I'm not mad at them for doing that, but like I just feel like they should have kept that like hidden.
Yeah. No, I get ya. Like it's two ways. Like honestly, for some, it's probably not going to offend anyone. I mean, let's be fair. Supersonic has been playable in 3D. Some of the most of the past 3D titles for the past decade now since Colors.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god, Supersonic's playable in this. It's like, well, yeah. And I'm saying that not including the fact that the original had it in there. You know, it's like, if the original didn't have it in there, it's like, okay, I would kind of expect it to be in this version since most modern Sonic games now does have Supersonic playable.
Right, right. But yeah, no, like I really like the Colors implemented Supersonic in the best way possible. You actually had to earn it. It wasn't easy as shit to get like it was in Generations, and it wasn't free DLC like it is in Forces.
Remember when it was going to be paid DLC in Forces?
We moved on from that, anyways. We're talking about Sonic Colors, but as in terms of positives, that's kind of where it ends, unless I miss something and you miss something.
I mean, to as I mentioned earlier, to its core, the core game of Sonic Colors is still in there, and it's still an enjoyable time. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we can because we're Sonic fans. We're gonna nitpick fucking everything.
Yeah,
We
no,
know that.
like
But if you were
if
just
you played it, if you've never played Sonic Colors before, it's a pretty decent game. Don't let our
yeah,
ramblings like dissuade you from like playing the game. It's a
mhm,
solid experience, and I'm sure they're gonna like fix the game
yeah.
at some point because they have to. Um,
Speaking of which, the state of fucking release was just god awful, and it still
yeah,
kind of is in some regards.
it was a fucking mess. But go
Let's
on.
get the big one out of the way. The Nintendo Switch version.
Yeah. Before we get into that, I should probably address there was a thing going around. Apparently people were like playing this on an emulator, like their Yuzu or Ryujin X or whatever the hell it's called. Um, and obviously they're emulators, so not every game's gonna work perfectly on
Mm-hmm.
there. And a lot of those people showed those glitches were from the emulator itself,
Yeah, but while
and it
that,
was like a whole mess. So just keep that in mind. If you look up stuff for the Switch version, just make sure you fact check and it's
Mhm.
not from an emulation.
Now while you
Uh,
do say that, there have been videos going around of people showing legit gameplay and recreating some of those glitches on the actual Switch hardware itself.
yeah, I'm not gonna say they're all fake
Yeah.
at all. Like the Switch version, I would pretty much avoid
Um,
if all possible.
I'll get the big one out of the way. The Caesar glitch. Uh, where it just turns into an epileptic nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I will say, from the looks of it, at least for right now, they did recently release a patch on Switch that seems to have gotten rid of that major issue.
And they actually addressed the
Yeah,
seizure one.
yeah,
Okay, because I thought that was one that was done by the emulator itself.
yeah. No, no, that was actually you could replicate that on hardware,
Okay.
but they did patch that out. At least as far as I can tell. Uh, but other issues like the pop in, the load times, and the lag. Those,
The desync and sound as well,
yeah,
and
and
just
the sound
audio
and
problems across the board.
audio problems across the board. Those haven't been fixed in the Switch version yet. And as far as I could tell, playing on the Xbox version, uh, I don't think it's been fixed on those either yet. Like the other issues, obviously the other versions don't have like the Caesar one, but like for the Switch one, they fixed that immediately. Like that's
Yeah,
the first
no.
one they fixed.
But those are just minor bugs, right? You can mostly play those. Well, besides the seizure one, to
Yeah,
be fine.
yeah,
Now, where the glitch, not where the glitches, where the main issue lies, and this is the biggest glitch, is something to do with their engine and how they messed with the game. So Sonic's physics, um, is kind of broken in that game, right? Um, I shared a clip on Twitter from my stream, and it was the beginning of, or I think it was Act 6 of what was it called? Aquatic base or shit. What do
aquatic
you know?
aquarium park.
Yeah, Aquarium Park. Oh my god, why did I had so 6 in the brain? Anyways, yeah, Aquarium Park Act 6 or Act 5, one of those, where you're getting chased by the giant crab robot, right?
Yeah,
Um, so that the beginning of the stage is automated. So, I go on the spring, it's supposed to shoot me on the path, and the booster is supposed to just automatically make me go, right?
yeah.
I do that, boosts me in the opposite direction and kills me.
Remember that?
That is like, if you want proof that the physics engine's kind of broke, look no further than that clip.
Yeah. I don't
But
know if
there's a lot
that's
more examples
I don't know if
of that
that's
in the game.
technically physics or if that has something to do with like what is it called, the splines?
Science, physics. I'm not
Whatever.
really sure how to like address that because I didn't program the game.
Yeah, and we're not technical. Like we aren't people who are like big technical jargon with this stuff. So
I know like basic video game like terminology and like models and like geometry and shit like that. But when it comes to like engine stuff, I that depends on the developer. I would
yeah,
have to research that stuff. So we don't know that
but
what's going on with that. But we do know shit's fucked up.
and of course other than the Caesar one, I ran into some graphical glitches. I know there's a clip I shared on Twitter where you beat the final boss and the fucking firework is spinning like shit.
Yeah, no. Like it didn't happen for me, thank God, but it's kind of sad when you think about it.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
Audio glitches. Whenever you activate a wisp, I've noticed a good number of times. Whenever you activate a wisp power up, it'll fucking just not play the music at all.
yeah, and it's the most noticeable with drill for sure. Because drill
Drill,
is like the most
hover,
banger music.
hover. Usually the ones where you're using the power. Cube, when you like
Spike.
the power is when you use it for more than 5 seconds. Like laser, I'd barely notice if that one's missing, but like other ones, yeah,
Yeah, like it's something they need. I'm sure the audio stuff they could probably fix,
yeah.
but an issue that it was actually brought up by a person who reviewed the game. Why is the sound effects and the music tied to the same audio bar when you go into the settings? That needs to be fixed for
Well,
sure.
here's another thing that needs to be fixed. Um, So in the original, if I recall, you could turn off the Tails uh chatter thing in the menus, if I
Hmm.
recall.
Yeah, you could.
Um, in this one, unless if you start a new game, you can't turn off the Tails navigation feature.
Oof.
So now every time when I play Tropical Resort Act 1 or Starlight Carnival Act 1 or just anyone that has a mandatory Tails navigation hint, every time I play those stages, I get a pause because of those fucking text pop-ups.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan that you have to make a whole brand new save file just to get rid of the Tails tutorials. You should just be able to toggle it. I don't
Yeah.
know why they even bothered. Probably because they saw the. Oh, we forgot to mention the Tails save feature, but he
Uh,
acts like Beat from Mega Man if you fall into a
I mean,
pit.
honest to
Which, oh,
God,
by the way, they also got rid of lives too. So
honest to God, I don't mind it. I know some people are having a fucking hissy fit, like saying it shouldn't be mandatory, but it's like, honest to God, it's the least offensive thing in the game. Honestly, if
it
you
is the
ask
least
me,
offensive thing. Although I just don't understand why they got rid of the live system because it kind of defeats the purpose.
yeah. I mean,
Like the Tails head is there to like say, or sorry, the tail save feature is there, right? To like,
yeah.
so you don't fall into a pit and die. But
Well,
like,
my understanding is when you fall into a pit or you get hurt, well, if you fall into a pit or something and Tails saves you, it keeps all your reins, all your red reins, and all your like park tokens.
right. But my whole issue with it is if you're gonna get rid of the live system, I just don't think that the save feature is kind of warranted. Besides those features you just mentioned, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can see why they have that even there. But like, I would have kept the live system around. Like, yeah, I get we're in 2021 and lives are becoming less and less of a thing.
Mhm.
But like, you know, it's a risk versus reward type of thing. It's a platformer, you know.
I mean,
That's just my personal opinion.
would people feel less offended if they didn't have the tail save, but they didn't have lives either? Like, do you think people would still be having a hissy fit? Like, if it was just they got rid of lives, but they didn't add like the tail save feature.
I would think it would not be as noticeable because like I didn't realize I didn't have any lives until like I got to fucking what Sweet Mountain. I
Mm,
was like, wait, where are my lives at?
yeah.
Because the Colors is not a difficult game. Let's be real.
No.
So I could see why they got rid of the live system altogether because it's like it's not particularly hard.
Yeah. I
In
mean,
a remake like Unleashed, if they were to like not remake but like remaster Unleashed, there I would probably like, yeah,
uh,
yeah, you should probably get rid of that live
give
system.
me give me a fucking tails save in that game.
Yeah, because that game definitely needs it.
Uh,
We're not hovering on Unleashed. We still love that game, but
I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if we'll get a Sonic Unleashed Ultimate ever now.
probably not. But that's a topic for another time. But yeah, I unless I'm forgetting something, I think that's all the major glitches addressed. Other than that, um, these are just personal things aside. Besides from the live system, I'm not a fan of the added UI elements they just inserted in there with no
Oh,
animations.
are there hot singles in your area, but with Metal Sonic?
Yeah, the hot metal sonics in your area. Yeah, no, you get your free. I was trying to say I was gonna make a joke, but then I realized how not safe for work it was. So, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, the added UI elements they kind of just they don't fit at all with the game's like actual UI.
I don't know if this counts with UI, and we'll probably be going back to glitches when I'm talking about this. The settings menu, I like the new look of the settings menu compared to the original.
Hmm.
Uh, but it lags like hell on my end. Like I'll have to wait like 4 or 5 seconds before it switches over. Like I'll go down to customizables and I'll go down to achievements and it'll like take 4 or 5 seconds for it to like switch.
No, 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 no. Though, trust me, when I was streaming that game, it did that to me because I thought it was like broken or something. It was like, did I press the button?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on here? So they need to like optimize that menu as well. Just make it more responsive. Also, the video playback feature for the videos that are in there,
Oh,
they
yeah.
why can't you full screen it?
Because it masks the compression. Duh. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not even talking about colors right now. I'm gonna go on a tangent. Um, Compression has been a fucking big issue with Sonic games recently.
Yeah.
Like, there's compression in the fucking videos of Sonic Lost World. There's compression in the videos of Sonic Forces. Like, if it was on the Switch version only, fine. That makes sense. It's on the Switch. But why is there so much goddamn compression in all the goddamn video files they have recently?
I don't know. And it's like, I don't know if Sonic Team just forgot how to compress shit.
Yeah.
Cause like you look at Unleash and like colors like original
Well,
and
colors in the
like
original, fine. That made sense if it had compression because it was on the goddamn Wii.
we
But like Unleashed, yeah, I went back and played Unleashed. It's like, well, most of the cutscenes are in game, so
right.
that's not a problem. But like the CGI cutscenes or cutscenes that are, I can barely tell any compression is there. Like I think I took a screenshot on Xbox of like the werehog, like near the final boss. And it's like, my God, you can see most of his fur detail and whatnot, and there's like no compression or artifacting or anything.
Exactly. And I don't know, it's like and you can tell too, like I know they're spending their money working their ass off to make this next game hopefully really good. But it's like you could just tell like they're just not really trying that much anymore to like, get the game perfect. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Dude,
And it's like,
dude, if there's fucking compression in cutscenes of that game, I'm going to fucking riot.
I know. Like I said in the last podcast, you got to get this game right.
hmm Um, but back to colors. Another issue that they need to optimize is I played on Xbox, and it does seem there's like stuttering every once in a while in the game.
Yeah, same with the PS4 version. I would get stutters all the
hmm
time when I played.
Um, and of course the Wii version has lag, but whatever.
I mean
We know the
Switch.
state of that game. Yeah, the Switch.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, and then of course the load times are ridiculous compared to the Wii version.
All right. Well, going back to the Switch version, and this is just becoming a trend I'm noticing with Switch games. Um, this is just to any developer out there, right? If you know damn well shit's not gonna run right on the Switch, just delay it until it's ready.
hmm
Optimize
Like
because they did that with Doom Eternal. Game runs smooth as hell
Crash Bandicoot
on the
4.
Switch.
Like
Crash
basically
Bandicoot 4,
any
like
of
they
those
just
Activision games, like the Spyro remake, the Crash remake, Crash 4, those came out like a year later after they released on everything else.
exactly. And it's like, yeah, it sucks that they got delayed, but it works properly, you
hmm
know. And I appreciate that they, spent time trying to get it to work on the Switch because the Switch is not the most powerful thing ever. It's the most popular console that's sold in like literal years
hmm
compared to like the PS4 and Xbox, but it's like it just can't run the latest games sometimes unless
Yeah.
the developers themselves know how to like,
Mhm.
compress stuff out.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this up because Forces should have, or not Forces, Colors
Colors.
Ultimate should have no issue running on the Switch. They should be able to run at 60, no problem.
hmm
Because I know the Switch can run that game at above 60 FPS. There's no reason. It's a 10 plus year old game with some HD graphics added here and there. Like that game should be running at full 60 FPS, no performance issues. It should not be locked at 30.
Well, hell, it should be able to run at 30 and not have any issues at all. I mean, my God, like, it can run Xenoblade.
Yeah. run Xenoblade. It can run fucking Breath of the Wild for God's sakes. Granted, not at 60
Well,
FPS,
hell,
but
it can run Doom fucking Eternal. Like, yeah, the graphics look like poo poo, but
mm-hmm.
it can run Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal.
Exactly. It's like it bothers me when developers just don't just choose to just throw a Switch port out there because, and
Mm-hmm.
this is why I hate when people just scream for Switch ports all the time with certain games. It's like yeah, you're not gonna get Metro to run on there, no matter how bad you can try to like down the graphics.
Now,
Sorry.
I won't say I'm never a part of that because I've been a big advocate to get a Slime Rancher on the Switch.
But
Uh,
Silent Metro like looks plausible though. Like I'm
yeah,
talking about games that are
yeah.
like
But here's the
super
thing.
big on the
Here's the
graphics.
thing. It finally did come to the Switch, and guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, it has a few hiccups, but nothing as bad as Sonic Colors does.
Right. But yeah, my point by bringing this up, and it's not trying to detract from Colors Ultimate at all. I'm making a point that these games that have infinitely more graphic bullshit going on runs better than Colors Ultimate on the Switch. That is unexcusable. Y'all have to do better for Switch ports
And I hate to say it, goddamn, I hate to say it. Sonic Forces runs better than Sonic
on the
Colors
Switch,
on the Switch. And
and that's sad.
um I know a big part of it, and this isn't trashing the developers or anything, but I am aware the developers don't have like the Blind Squirrel Studios don't have that much of a history with working with Switch ports at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why are you giving a developer, like, especially if you want this on a Switch? Uh, I mean, I get having them develop the port, but like for the Switch version, it's like you should have given it to someone who can handle making games on the Switch.
Exactly.
But
And it's like the Switch is like it's still relatively like odd for certain developers to like develop on, but like I feel like a part of that fault is goes to Nintendo for just not helping out some of these devs.
yeah,
Like I get they have dev kits out there, but it's like y'all have to like give them insight on how the architecture works. Otherwise, games are just gonna run like shit on there.
I'll give
Um,
it benefit of the fucking doubt though. It's not fucking Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. It's not like that situation.
right, for sure.
My God,
But
you remember ever hearing the horror stories the developers went through trying to get that to work on the Switch or not on the Wii U?
on the Wii U, yeah, and like because even Wii U architecture, as much as I like, as much as like I adore that console, there's still people who just did not understand how to develop for that damn thing.
Well, like the
Even
Boom
though
people,
power wise, it's a more powerful 360.
Big
But
Red
what were
Button,
you
if I
saying?
recall, like they were having like actual conversations between Nintendo and I was it the Cry engine they used for that, if I remember?
I don't remember.
I think it
It might have
was
been a Cry
I
Engine.
think it was the CryEngine, and they were having conversations between like the CryEngine devs and fucking Nintendo to get the
Oh
game
jeez,
fucking running on
I
the Wii
never heard
U.
of that. That's new to me. Holy shit.
Yeah, like they were like calling tech supports with the devs of the CryEngine to try to get it to work on the Wii U.
Good lord. But like I don't know. Nintendo architecture aside, like I'm not gonna say they're all like the Wii is a really good selling console. Wii U kind of flawed because they didn't advertise it well. Switch is the most successful console they've had in forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo needs to like actually explain how their like dev kit shit works to these developers so we don't have messes like this ever again. But that's asking too much for them, probably. So I don't
Yeah,
know. At this point, it is what it is. I'm getting off topic, but that the colors ultimate. Overall though,
I, I,
um, they're
I
gonna get patched out hopefully.
yeah. Um, like I'm sure they'll be able to patch out. Like they took care of one of the biggest issues on the Switch version, but there's still a lot more issues to be ironed out, which at this point are like kind of the nitpicks and kind of like the slowdown and shit.
Yeah, I
But
mean, we haven't even gone over all of them. If you want a good video talking about the all the glitches that are in Sonic Colors Ultimate and like just all the flaws that game has, I would just hold on. Give me 1 second. I know I'm plugging other people in this podcast, but they do help the Sonic community. I would look up a video called Sonic Colors Ultimate is pathetic. And it's not him just trashing on the game the entire time. He does point out some good stuff about it, but it needs to be said. We did not go over half the shit that's wrong with that game.
yeah, I mean, we could be here for a good long while if we did that. But
Exactly.
I do, before we wrap things up on Colors, I mean, I want to just talk about, like, kind of how disappointed I am in a way. With Sega or whoever, well, mostly Sega. Sega has the final say in like shit. So like, even if the studio said, "Okay, we're gonna ship this out now," and if Sega saw like the condition it is, it's their fucking call to like, "Okay, ship the game," you know?
Right. They should have delayed that game for
Yeah.
sure.
And here's the thing I have to say about it. Back during 2020, back during the huge drought of Sonic news, you know, like there's no fucking Sonic. Sonic's dead for all we know.
Right.
Mr. Aaron Weber told us something about why there hasn't been any like news or information on Sonic. And you know what he said about that?
I actually don't remember. Please lie.
You could probably find it online. I tried finding it because I wanted to play the audio here, but I couldn't find it. But he basically said along the lines of like, the reason there hasn't been any Sonic news is we want to take our time to make sure we release a quality product.
And boy, look how that turned out.
And then this comes out, and where's the quality, man? Like, I'm not blaming Aaron Weber personally. This isn't Aaron Weber's fault. I'm not saying that. But
He's
it's
just
like,
a spokesman
yeah.
for them. But
But
and granted, it's not even Sonic Team's fault or Sega. Oh, I mean, it is Sega's fault. I'll blame Sega. I won't blame Sonic Team.
Yeah, and it's not Blind Squirrel's fault. Obviously, they got into this partnership with Sega to do this game, and I'm gonna assume Sega was like trying to rush this out.
Yeah. If anything, the blame goes to Sega. I'm not gonna blame Sonic Team. I'm not gonna blame Brown Squirrel.
Blind Squirrel, yeah.
Yeah, Blind Squirrel Productions for it. The blame just also goes to Sega because they wanted to hurry up and get a port out. And it's like I've said during the last podcast, instead of just one remaster of Sonic Colors, we could have had a Boost Trilogy HD or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could have Unleashed, we could have Colors, we could have Generations all in one package for modern consoles and PC, I guess.
Let's be real. If they did that, it would be even in worse condition.
True. I mean, granted, if I feel like they should have got different developers to do that remaster. I'm nothing against Blind Squirrels. Yeah. You can clearly tell that was like their first big endeavor.
And I don't even want to say it was just Sega rushing things. It could have been in part with, I mean, you know, current world events, as I'll say.
Oh yeah, and COVID too. We can't roll that out.
Thanks, man. You said the word. YouTube's gonna fucking flag us now.
Wait, actually?
I don't know. I just don't know. They don't like people saying that stuff.
Anyways, so the coof.
Yes.
Because of the coof, things have not been going well for a lot of developers in the video game industry. So we can't roll that out as a possibility of why stuff has gone wrong with Colors Ultimate.
If I had to take a guess, I'd imagine they wanted this game to come out like earlier this year, or if anything, late last year, because it obviously has a lot of tie-in with movie Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're hyping up probably for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. as
Mm-hmm.
well as like still try to sell the first Sonic movie that's still like out on Blu-ray
Yeah,
and DVD. But yeah,
but
uh,
I mean, my fear is one. Obviously, this hurt the potential ports going forward. So,
yeah, which people have been begging for.
Goodbye, Sonic Unleashed, the one everyone's been begging for, and not Colors, but we got Colors anyway, and that probably hurt Unleashed potential to get ported. So, yay.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, any modders out there, you should really like start backporting assets to PC. That includes Warehog as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're lucky, we'll maybe get a Chaos X situation, and someone will completely rebuild the great game in the Unity engine. So
We can only hope.
but
We can only hope. But
I
yeah,
mean,
ports for Sonic. I mean, we still got that compilation coming out for the
yeah,
classic games, so we'll see how that sells.
yeah,
But other than that, like uh that big oof
yeah. I mean,
on Colors
at the
Ultimate.
very least, I'm sure if the fucking Sonic Origins collection somehow messes up, I'm sure we'll still get classic Sonic games ported to future systems.
Well, that's just a given.
I mean, I'm not sure about Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but like Sonic 1 and 2, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It is
Uh,
a goddamn shame that game that game gets ignored. God damn it.
mm-hmm.
But anyways,
Um, and my one concern is like, obviously, I want to talk about like why they chose this game, and I don't know what the significance is. It's one of the best received games, so I think that's part of it. But I'm also concerned if like this is still the style they're gonna go with for Sonic going forward, like the baldy
the
nose
boost.
hair. No, not the boost.
Yeah.
The
Oh, you're
baldy
talking about
nose.
just are you talking about like Sonic like as a character?
Yeah, because I'm just concerned like this is still going to be the attitude going forward.
I don't know. We all want adventure era style Sonic's character to come back, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
But
I just like they miss like the entire point of Sonic's
yeah,
character. And coming from a guy who likes really good writing in video games, yeah, like the adventure games kind of got dark at times when they didn't really need to, but they were still endearing. Sonic was an endearing character, and he wasn't just all like jokes and everything. He was, he was sweet when he wanted to. He was caring when he wanted to. He wasn't just cracking out jokes because, oh, it's a cartoon hedgehog. We got to make him act funny. Haha.
yeah. And I'm not just talking about the character. I'm talking about like, okay, well, obviously, people have problems with the level design. So is this like the mentality they want newcomers to get for the level design of Sonic games going forward? Is this this has the Wisp in it? So does this mean we're going to still be seeing Wisp for years to come yet
I
after
really hope
this?
not, because like I love the Wisp with Sonic Colors, right? I don't think they did. They didn't. I didn't think they need to exist past that game. They
Yeah,
didn't need to be in Lost World. They need to be. They need to be shoved in any other product, I guess. So I mean, outside of like third party shit.
yeah.
If you want to sell merch, by all means. I
I
mean, they're
mean,
cool.
for fuck's sakes, I would have if they just if Wisp weren't around besides Colors, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're gonna start doing Wisp plushies, and it's like, damn, I'll take like a Cyan Laser Wisp or
And it's like
something like
there's
that.
nothing wrong with the power up system they had in Classic Sonic. That's what I've always wanted them to do. Is just bring those back for the most part. Like they did for the Adventure era. Granted, it wasn't as like then it wasn't didn't have that much variety in terms of power ups in the Adventure games. But it's like they just don't utilize Classic Sonic's power ups in modern era like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
When
even
they could totally do stuff with a fire shield, electric shield, water shield.
even
It's
that,
like
they have Sonic's moveset with the boost, but I would like to see them incorporate some of like the Adventure like movesets.
that
Uh,
too, yeah.
I mean, the bounce bracelet. I don't see them using the bounce anymore. Shit like the light speed dash. Like I know it's in this game technically. Although you have to use hover, and it's like in generations, but it's only certain selections. So It's
Yeah, like
like,
I want them to bring the light speed dash back. Spin dash should be a thing again.
mm-hmm.
I just want more manual control over Sonic. I don't want this automated go in a straight line for the most part, sometimes, or most of the time,
Yeah,
and then go into 2D. And it's like I want full control over Sonic. That's what I want this next game to do. But I don't know, like you said, I don't know if this is a sign that this is the gameplay style they're going for, and they just can't get away from Boost.
yeah, and like, I don't know, like, I just see this as like, okay, because Azuka said, this is a good introductory game for fans going for, for fan or newcomers. It's like, okay, well, when he says that, if you read between the lines, kinda, and I'm just speculating out of my ass. It's like, if you read between the lines, it's kind of like, okay, so we're gonna still get more games like Colors going forward.
It's like I'm just so tired of the Boost
uh,
gameplay.
I,
Like
I'm not tired of the well. The boost gameplay is good. Like, I did enjoy it in Colors. It's if the level design is done right. Forces, it was done wrong. Like, honest to God, it was done wrong in that game.
I'm not gonna be mad if we get another one as long as it plays like Generations.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm cool. But if
It
we get in something like Forces again, I'm just gonna fucking cry to be honest.
Yeah, like, it all comes down to like how the level design is for boost games. Honestly,
Yeah.
and Forces just did it wrong. But you know, the game. God, I don't know what I want to say. I mean, I know, but I don't know how to articulate it.
I know what you want to say, and your heart says you miss Yuji Naka, but your mind says we got to move forward.
I don't know if I really miss Yuji Naka after his last game.
I mean, hmm. Okay,
you
are we talking
know,
about oh 06 or are we talking about Balin?
Balin.
Okay. You know what? Fair. Like I said before in the other podcasts, sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. Because where they had Sky Soldier is fucking nice.
It is.
The
Um,
Wii version.
yes, but I just I wouldn't be upset if we got another boost game. I honestly wouldn't. I just want them to expand on what he can do in the boost game. Like, honestly,
Right.
like,
I want more control over Sonic in the
yeah.
Boost game.
And that was another problem with Forces. I hate to go always back to that game, but it's like they took away control. Like, you couldn't drift. You couldn't, if I can recall, you couldn't like do the quick step anywhere like before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it took away control basically. Um, and that's my problem with like Forces and kind of Colors. Colors has that same issue, but it was understandable because it was a Wii game, so whatever. But yeah, like, I want them to expand on what Sonic can do. Like, as you said, I was like, bring back the spin dash. I don't see why they can't. They have a crouch button. Like, I mean, have him crouch first and then like hit the boost button, and then you can like charge up use your boost gauge. Like, here's a fucking idea. You crouch, right? You hit the boost
Mm-hmm.
button. You spin dash using your boost gauge to like charge up how powerful your boost or your spin dash will be, and then you let
Mm-hmm.
go of the boost button, and it sends you flying forward in a spin dash.
And that's the thing, though. But the thing about that is the level design has to compensate for the spin dash as well. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like by the boost gameplay, it's very limiting for Sonic
Yeah.
as a whole because you need more manual control to add those abilities to him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like a lot of people want the adventure style to come back as opposed to like boost formula. It is possible to make a hybrid because
Fan
fan
projects.
game
Yeah.
creators have done it for like little years at this point. But it's like I don't want it to be exactly like those. I want it to be more polished, you know.
Yeah.
But like you have to keep these things in mind. Um, but I think we'd probably say that for another video talking about that. Um, but yeah, no, Colors Ultimate overall, it's Colors.
Yeah, it's Colors. It's a fine game, but it's got a lot of issues right now, and I mean, I'm sure it'll get fixed up. So
We pray.
yeah. So anyway, fuck. That's Colors. I mean, What else do you want us to tell you?
Uh, Basically, what I said at the end of my stream last time. Do I recommend this version over the original right now in its current state? No. If you can emulate Sonic Colors on Dolphin, more power to you. I honestly recommend that over Colors Ultimate as it stands.
Honest
Once
to
they iron everything out with the with patches, then I can wholly recommend it to you.
And honestly, by the
Or
time they probably do that anyway, you know how Sonic games drop like half price by the time, you know,
exactly,
like within a year. So it's like, by the time they probably have it fixed, this game will be like $20 anyway. So
exactly. Or you just get the Epic Game Store version and just get all the mods there for it.
yeah,
Or you can just play the original on the fucking Wii.
what the fuck is that?
Dust it off. They still have them in hospitals.
Yeah.
But
But
more than likely, you're just probably gonna emulate it anyway
yeah,
if you have a good graphics card. But regardless, I think yeah, that's it. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, fucking let's reach for the stars, everyone, and have a good night.
Yep. This is RaijinVexis. Peace out.
So long.